Okay, so looks like now we're live. So hello everybody, I am GhostSenpai, also known as Unfantasma's, and this is Splatoon 2 Hero Mode 80%. So before I start, I'm gonna ask the chat if somebody has a special request about which character should I use for my run. So should I play as the England girl or as the England boy? So if somebody in chat wanna pick, feel free to. I'm gonna see which of these characters receive more votes before I start my run. So like an hour ago I ran Snow Brothers, so this is my second run for the marathon. And we're gonna have a little twist about the kind of content because we're now on this little actual games block or HZ games block, which is new releases in video games. So let me do something before I start. So I think I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start the play. I'm gonna play as the England girl, but first let me do another little setup. So let's set up everything here. Color, I should be fine. I'm gonna try. Your body is for Chica. Okay, let's see which kind of tone is the marathon one. I'm gonna pick the red eyes because I think that it's like the most closest to the background color of the I use for the marathon. Some pigtails because it looks so cute. And well, I'm gonna assume that we're ready to start the timer. So I'm gonna make the countdown from 3. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this is Splatoon 2, obviously, and this is a sequel for obviously the first game from first Splatoon that was released in 2015 to the Wii U. That is actually a console and not a rumor like many people say. And first we're gonna start with this tutorial that basically is gonna show to us how to play using the gyroscope, which I'm gonna deactivate after the tutorial. Unfortunately I cannot deactivate it right now. So this is mostly to show to the player how to play with the gyroscope, but also if the player wants, because it's my situation also, I'm gonna be playing with the sticks. It's slower in some way comparing this with using gyroscope, but I have worked into finding the best way to run this using the sticks, so this shouldn't be a big problem. Okay, this was a little slow start, but it's fine. And there we go. This was a little tutorial. And we have seen that I have skipped I have saved 1 minute here, skipping a section at the start where there was just some boxes that I just need to jump over them. And now we're gonna have to wait like another 2 or 3 minutes while we have a good amount of mashing button section. Well, just mashing the A button. So this shouldn't be a big deal anyways. So, and now that we have skipped the tutorial, we're gonna know the plot of the game that I'm gonna try to resume. The objective of this is basically that I forgot how does this is called in English. Let me Google faster. But here we're gonna have this introduction with oh, wait a moment. Okay, we're gonna have this introduction with these girls, which are Pearl and Marina. These girls make the duo of the Hook, which are the idols from this game. On the first game we got the Squid Sisters. So I really hate when I forget this word, or forget how to say this. Moment, I'm gonna deactivate this. Okay, I remember the name, the Great Sapfish. Sorry about that. So what happened here is that on the start of the game we see this news. Well, anyway, we're gonna have another minute of mashing the A button. So what we're gonna have here is that the girls at in the news section tells to us that the Great Sapfish has disappeared. And also Kali from the Squid Sisters has disappeared, so nobody knows where they are. And the Sapfish, it's something important for Inkopolis, the city where does the Inklings lives, because the Sapfish gives to them the electricity that they need. But on this case, we are here with Mary, the other Squid Sister that talks to us, asking for our help. So what she's telling to us is that the big sapfish has disappeared, and now it's our mission to rescue it. Well, she asks to us if we can help her in order to rescue it. So basically, that's the plot of the game. We're gonna be having some battles against the Octolings and all these kind of villains on this game, trying to get back the Sapfish. So on this first section of the game, there are just 3 stages. This is the most oh, okay, I failed. This is the most shortest section of the game, the shortest world, because we have just 3 stages and then the boss fight. So basically, on the history mode, comparing this with the first title, sorry, and this game we're gonna need to play with every kind of weapon that this game has. So on this first world, we're gonna be using the hero shot, and starting the second world, we're gonna have the different weapons that we're gonna be using. And also, it's not required that I go through a linear order in order to beat all the stages. For example, this is stage 2, then I'm gonna move to the 3rd stage, and the last stage I'm playing is gonna be the first stage of the game, so it's not a big deal. Here I just make a little jump here, and we are gonna have a little skip that's gonna save a little amount of time, because instead of that, we should be climbing all these. Okay. Climbing all the wall in order to be, well, we're gonna be painting all the wall in order to be climbing here. So basically, what does the history mode shows to us is how to play the game with every weapon, to understand every kind of attack, every time special attack, and obviously just to finish a single player mode. And comparing this with the history mode from the first game, there was a huge improvement in many aspects. Okay. Usually I used to miss an enemy. It should be better if I should have used the special attack and just have defeated it at the first attempt. Okay. This is not a very good start at all, because the enemies are noticing me, but it's still been good. It's not a big amount of lost time, or whatever. So what am I doing here is collecting these special eggs, and then I'm gonna go through the anchovies in order to unlock some stuff later on the run. That's gonna help me to be completing this game as fast as I can. And also, something I need to say is that I'm really glad that Nintendo made a new game for Splatoon for the Switch instead of porting the first game that was for the Wii U, because recently Nintendo has been porting most of the Wii U titles to the Switch, and I really love the first game. I'm a big fan of it since it was announced back in E3 2014 with just a little teaser with not so much information about the game. But, oh, I still love that. It was a new game, anyways. And they make a big improvement. And the situation with the tutorial at the start of the game, I want to assume that it's because we're aware that the Wii U hasn't sold very well, so many people is gonna buy or has bought the Switch. If I remember correctly, I think that the Switch has sold more units than the Wii U. and maybe thanks to that, there's gonna be people that hasn't played the first Splatoon game. So instead of that, we have the tutorial at the start of the game. Okay, I was slow, so I'm gonna lose a lot of time. Instead of that, I should have over here. So if you don't understand what am I doing, talking about my movements and all that kind of stuff, this is a third-person shooter, and instead of guns and all that kind on big weapons on Call of Duty, things, bullets and all that kind of stuff, we have the ink. So we're gonna be using these weapons that is gonna be shooting ink, and we can get hide on it and start to swim, and that's gonna be the more fastest way to be moving. Now, so I'm gonna be throwing some bombs on sections just to be cutting some time, because also the bombs throw some ink into the floor and break some barriers and can feed some enemies, so with it we can get a little amount of time. Just gonna wait here. And also to save these little sap fishes, I'm gonna be throwing a bomb so I can break the shield where the seeds are located, and definitely we need to kill more time, because if I keep shooting to it I can break it, but it's gonna take more time to do that. And also, as you have noticed, I have the game in Spanish, and I have two reasons for that. The first of all is because my principal language is Spanish and I'm too lazy to change my Switch language to English. I just used to do that when the video games are just on the European Spanish and not the Latin American one. And the second reason is because Spanish is slightly faster than English, because Spanish has less text boxes. So this is a little improvement. And as far as I know, Japanese is the most fastest language, but there's a problem with the language on this game. Because we know that Nintendo Switch is region free, and usually the same game that it's sold in a continent is sold in the rest of the world. And for example, the same game that it's sold in America, it's the same game that it's sold in Europe and Japan and all that kind of things. But this is not the case at all with Splatoon 2, because depending on the region where you get your card, it's gonna be the language that it's gonna have. So since this is an American cartridge, it has English, Latin, Spanish, and French. The European version has English, European Spanish, French, Italian, and German, and the Japanese copy has English and Japanese. Well, I think it has English, I'm not so quite sure. So if I wanna have the most fastest time, I should go for a Japanese card. Also, it's not like a big difference at all, but it has also less text boxes. And I hope that in the future I can get a Japanese card of this game. And also, this is called Hero Mode any percent because it's intended route for the principal story of the game. Because on last year, the Octo expansion, a DLC for the Splatoon 2 was released, and it has a different story where you play as an Octoling, which is one of the few good Octolings. And maybe you haven't noticed that Marina from Off the Hook is also an Octoling. So we can consider her as the first good Octoling, and in the Octo expansion, you know how does she arrive to the Inkling's world and how does she started to learn the language in order to communicate with them. So now I here need to find a key, and I got the worst pattern ever. Sometimes I can locate the key with the previous enemies, and with that cut some time, but in this case I got a bad cycle, so I wasn't able to get the key as fast as I can. And now I have beaten all the 3 stages, so the way that you beat them is just to rescue these little sapfishes. And now it's time to go against the first boss battle, which is the Octo-Oven, and we're gonna see one of our first speed strats where we can get a cycle that's gonna happen on the last phase, and I'm gonna explain that once we reach that section. For some reason my bird is hurting me, but I don't know why. Anyways. So once I land here, I reset the boss fight, and the reason why I restart this is because every time that I start a boss fight for the first time, there's gonna be a long cutscene of the presentation of the boss. But if I do that, the game's gonna think that I have seen that cutscene and it's gonna allow me to reset and it's gonna allow me to skip that cutscene. And no, this wasn't the speed strat that I was talking about, if you were thinking about that. So obviously before we're gonna see the third phase. So what does Octoben is that he's gonna make some attacks, then it's gonna keep quiet and I can climb up and shoot this tentacle. It's over here. And now the things are gonna complicate in some way, and having these, when this second phase of the boss, where the walls that we're able to ink are now more reduced, so this means that it's gonna take us more time to reach that zones. I will try to paint as much as I can, and at the same time I'm gonna try to, well, I'm gonna be trying to keep painting the walls as much as I can, and also the floor, so I'm gonna be able to keep moving in some sections of the work, of the run, so of the stage. So now we're gonna have here the third phase, and now what is gonna happen is that the oven is gonna start to spin while it's gonna be throwing some ink. So I'm gonna do a damage boosting. And with this, I'm trying to say that I'm gonna receive some damage here. So with this, I'm gonna prevent that this is gonna happen. I'm gonna receive damage, but I'm gonna be back on my regular form after a second. It's something bad that I receive damage because it makes me going slow, and at the same time the enemies can see when I hide on the ink. But here I use this just to skip the cycle. I just keep painting, and just keep climbing. And there we go. Third boss defeated. Throw a bomb, and I'm gonna start to swim. And there we go. This was the third boss fight. Well, the first, I don't know what I'm saying. This is the first boss fight. And now we're gonna have an introduction of another character, who is Sheldon, called Jairo in Spanish for some reason. Sheldon is the guy who sells to us the weapons for the multiplayer mode. And here what he's gonna do is that he's gonna lend to us some weapons that he's gonna ask to us to use them. So with that kind of testings, we can work hard on the final versions. And with final version, I'm trying to say that he's gonna be working with the models that he's gonna be selling on his store. So that's the deal. He's gonna let to us to use the weapons, so he can develop them during that. And now here in this world, I'm gonna be opening some stages before I enter them. So first I'm gonna open both 4 and 5 stages. I'm gonna place here, and I'm gonna be throwing a bomb. Okay, that was a good hit. 1, 2, there we go. So I'm gonna go trick stage number 5, and I'm gonna open it also. And after I open it, I'm gonna be using the menu to move to the. Okay, that wasn't good. I'm gonna be moving to this trick stage number 4. Okay, now I open stage number 5, and I'm gonna move to stage number 4. I'm gonna be doing this mostly on this world. And here we're gonna have our new first weapon. We're gonna have the roller. So with this, Sheldon's telling to us what we can do with the rollers. And specifically, some of these stages are made especially for this kind of weapons. And after you beat them for the first time, you're able to replay the stage using another weapon. And this is required for the full completion of the game. Because Nintendo released a Nintendo Switch app for smartphones, where you can use it for online games that support it, and also to use a kind of weird way of having a voice chat. But with this game, if we access to the app, and we choose Splatoon 2, we're gonna see that when I beat this game, when I finish the run, if I check that on the app, it's gonna say that I have beaten the game at 100%. But the real fully percentage of this game is 1000%, which means that you need to get all the scrolls, which are another things that we're not gonna get in this run, but it tells to us some of the things that happened between both Splatoon games. We need to get all the Sardiniums, we need to play also all the stages with all the weapons. So with that we get the 1000%. So if you want a real challenge about completing a game, Splatoon 2 is your ideal game for this. Talking about recent releases, by the way. And also, see, there are some stages that are gonna be specifically done for some weapons, and when you repeat them, the stages are gonna have some slight changes. That happens with stage number 6, if I remember correctly. I think it was stage 6. Because there are some things that you're not able to do properly using some weapons. So when you replay these stages are gonna have slight changes in order to complete it, otherwise some of them will be unbeatable with some weapons. So now that I have beat stage 4, I'm gonna open the stage 9 and I'm gonna be using the menu to go back to stage 5, which was the second stage that I have opened after I went to this stage. And this is one of the reasons why Spanish is faster, because here we have seen that before the alert that we unlock a new weapon, Sheldon showed 3 text boxes. On the English version, for some reason, he shows 5. Okay, I failed. I don't know what I'm failing. Okay, I have failed again and I fall down. This is not good. So I'm gonna be losing another amount of time. There we go. I know which was my mistake here. So I really know where I have lost time. But it's just a little amount, fortunately. But anyways, now we're gonna have the dualies, which are some fast shooting weapons. And my favorites from this game. This was one of the new weapons that were included for this new game that wasn't available on the first title. And as I've said before, depending on the weapons, which kind of things you can do, so we can roll like this using the dualies, and that's gonna be helpful in some situations just to move faster or just to avoid some enemies, because some of them can be annoying. So maybe, let's see if I can get this skip. This is just a little skip that saves a couple of seconds, but it's still being cool to show. Okay, that was bad. It has been a long time since I have failed that, honestly. But I can do that again because we got your checkpoint, but I'm gonna try to throw more into this. And I'm ready to do it. And here, Matt is telling to us that we'll update. I throw a bomb to activate this reel and save a little amount of time. And this is gonna be the only stage that I will go for one of the anchovies. Usually when you defeat a boss you get an anchovy, but this is gonna be the only stage that I will look for one, because I need to buy the curling bombs, and for that I need 500x and 2 anchovies. So I'm gonna have the anchovy from this stage and the anchovy from the first boss fight. So before I complete the last stage that I'm gonna be remaining on this world, I'm gonna be back to World 1 in order to buy the curling bombs on the machine that Sheldon chose to us after we have beaten first boss. Bomb. I failed, but it's fine, because the dualies are not so slow in some way to break the shield. And now I'm gonna open 2 stages that I'm not gonna play for now, that are stages 6 and 7. But here I'm gonna have a little twist, because I'm gonna be open the stage 6 and I'm gonna be using the menu to move to that stage, and after that I'm gonna be aiming to open, sorry, for the stage 7, and then I'm gonna be aiming to the zone where stage 6 is. So it's first hit, second one, and now I'll go to stage 9. So here, this is the first stage where we're gonna have an encounter against the Octolings. And usually the Octoling stages doesn't force us to play with some weapons. So it's better to use the dualities on this stage because it's more faster. And also the bombs are also really helpful in order to save these mini sunfishes. And also I'm gonna be catching some shields, and just in case that somebody has noticed that, the shields are helpful because there are gonna be some sections that are gonna be pretty thugged, and probably I'm gonna be receiving some damage. So with that I can save time because they don't break my regular outfit, and I can keep moving as normal as I can. And also at the end of the stage, if I beat the stage keeping a shield, I'm gonna earn some extra eggs. Now we're gonna go back through the hero shot on the next stage, which is stage number 8. And we don't have here the shelter messages because this is not a new weapon. I don't know what happened to the bomb. It's more easier to keep just shooting to this. Fortunately, when we enter the stage and we're gonna be using a weapon that we have used before, we don't see the entire animation where just the weapon is falling down, and we don't have also the big shallow dialogue telling to us what to do or how can we use the weapon. I'm gonna throw a bomb here, so with it I can avoid the enemies and one of these little obstacles. And here I'm gonna be careful, I'm just gonna keep shooting while I keep moving, so with this enemy doesn't notice me when they like reach the section, and I can save some time just avoiding them on this way. Otherwise they should have started to shoot and these little bridges will contract them again, which is not really good. So now the real complicated section of the stage, the last one. Here we're gonna have tons of enemies that we need to defeat, but it's easy to defeat them like this. And then I need to go to this section where we're gonna have more enemies and more obstacles. Yeah, I missed this. I used to miss one of these things. It's so rare, it's so weird that I get them on the first time. So now this guy hasn't seen me, so notice me, I just throw the bomb and easy peasy. And now we're gonna move to stage 6, and this is a stage that I have to say that it is slightly different when you play it with a different weapon. We're gonna have here our first sniping weapon, and which is kinda complicated the first time to play just with sticks, but I have been practicing a lot this stage, so I have managed to find the fastest way, or at least a good consistent way to beat this as fast as you can using just sticks. Because the advantage that the gyroscope has is that it helps to us to aim more easier, but I haven't been practicing to play with it because I'm not so used to that, and I don't feel for now so confident to use the gyroscope while I run this game, so it's still been fine that I run it with sticks. It's not a big deal anyways. So what am I gonna be doing here is just moving through these platforms. And some stuff like this is gonna help me that if I shoot them, I'm gonna be warped to another section of the stage. I don't get worried about receiving damage here because I'm gonna arrive on the next point, and that is a checkpoint, and it helps to me to fix my shield. This is a little tricky escape. I just need to aim to that and jump at the same time. If I do that correctly, I reach it and I can skip a little section of the stage while I need to climb up. Here I have the key, and I forgot to catch this special weapon that is gonna be helpful. Okay, I have lost my shield, but it's fine. It was the extra one, so I'm gonna lose more time. So with this special weapon, I'm gonna be doing a skip here. So I'm just gonna aim here, I'm gonna shoot to it, take this, and there we go. Skip it. So now this is the real complicated section with sticks. So let's see if I get it the first attempt. It's 1. Oh, 2. No, what? It takes me a long time since I have failed that like this. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. I don't know why this took me more time. It's been a long time since I have failed this. But well, marathon RNG. Marathon luck, what I can say. Okay, this is supposed that it's supposed that I should have done that on the first attempt. Still fine. I have some kind of lives every time that I enter this stage. I have 3 lives, so if I lose one and if I catch another checkpoint, it's gonna be refilled. And if I lose all of them, I need to restart the stage. So dialogue. Okay, I should have done that. I'm gonna be moving to the first world and I'm gonna buy the curling bombs. And the principal reason why I'm gonna buy them is because, if you remember correctly, I have said that swimming in the ink is the most fastest way to move. So with these curling bombs, we can make some lines of painting on the floor. So with it, we just can keep swimming on that line, and we're gonna save another huge amount of time. And this is the last stage that we need to hit on this second section of the game. And I can use spot bombs, the plus bombs, the regular that I'm using, and the rolling ones. I can switch them using the D-pad. So here, this is an example I was saying. So if I throw the bomb, I can move more faster, and with it I can kill also more time. So I'm gonna try to trick this enemy. I'm gonna be throwing some bombs here. This is gonna be cleaning, and I throw another one, and just make an easy escape. And it's something curious to mention this because in English and French, Mary doesn't get dramatic or something like that. But in Latin and Spanish, she says no in a kind of dramatic way. I need to mention that because I consider that that's something really funny and kind of interesting in some way. And I failed this jump. How I have failed that? Marathon luck again. Marathon luck strikes back. So we're gonna assume that you didn't see nothing. So smoke here. Shoot this and okay, it broke my shield, but it's fine. I'm gonna be throwing some painting here. This enemy is gonna come here, and what I'm gonna be trying to do here is I'm just gonna be throwing these curling bombs, and this guy is gonna try to clean it, so he's gonna go against my ink. But the problem is when there's a lot of enemies, and we're gonna see that later on the run. Because when there are more enemies, they're also be throwing their own ink, and these big guys are gonna be cleaning all the ink, so sometimes the enemies can choke what I'm trying to do. Suppose that I should shoot to that and a rail will appear, but it's so slow, so instead of that it's better to do this. And I'm trying another bomb. These guys are gonna come here. Skip him and Okay, here is one of the complicated sections. If everything was fine, I'm gonna be able to hit it quickly, otherwise it's gonna take some time to kill a big amount of enemies. Ski. Hello everybody, and I start to throw the bombs. And also, if I keep hide on my ink meter is gonna be refilled more faster. So I'm gonna be doing that most of the time. There we go. Not my best stage 7, but it was kinda decent, just because that's it. Anyways, it's still been good. So now, this is the second boss fight, Octo Samurai, and also with this, like, on these stages, we're gonna be forcing to use some weapons against these guys. Here we're gonna use the roller. That it's probably one of my less favorite weapons in the game, but Nintendo said no. If you wanna play the history mode Splatoon 2, you need to use all the weapons that the game has. So we need to do this. We jump here. Once we land, we reset the game. The game told me, and doesn't recognize my down pressing there. And now that wasn't a P90. Now I just can skip the first cutscene. Okay, that wasn't so good at all. Move to a side. Never mind. Never mind. Oh my god. Okay, just another extra hit, and we're gonna be. Okay, why does this is taking a huge amount of time to beat this guy? Never mind. I just need to throw a bomb. I don't know what I have to have done that before. Then this big tentacle is gonna spawn. 3 hits, and let's go. The first phase of this boss can be sometimes complicated, like we have seen, for example. But here's gonna be moving close to the section that we are, so it's not a big deal on this second phase. He's gonna start to roll, and it's supposed that I should hide on my ink so I can avoid that, but if I have the knock ink, I'm not gonna do it because there's a spot where I can keep making him damage instead of just hiding and trying to keep safe. But in this case I needed to hide because I was running out of ink, and on the second phase where he was gonna make the circular attack again, I just keep throwing ink to him because I was so close to get some damage and roll. Last phase, but that doesn't mean that it's easy on something like that. But in this section, he's gonna do some damage, but it's gonna be fine. He's not gonna be attacking me once I get back close to him again. I just need to get close and start to roll. And this is what I have said. With that attack, I don't need to hide most of the time. I had the knocking close enough to making damage, and now I use it for a little bit. 3 hits on the big tentacle, and we are done with the second boss of the game. Okay. I forgot. I just have used the curling bomb, so that was the reason why I haven't broke the shield. So this was the Octo Samurai, second boss of the game, and now we're gonna have a little interference here that is gonna tell to us that we need to leave this place. But Sheldon tells us that we shouldn't get any kind of interferences with the type of communication system that we're using. So also again I can use the cooling bombs to get some time. And And now I'm gonna I'm not gonna be doing what I have done on the second world of opening stages and then entering them later. I'm gonna go directly to the stages. I'm gonna do that just one time once I reach the last world, if I remember correctly. Also, I can change my weapons, but I would prefer to don't do that unless I really need it. Because I will lose some time, and also at the same time the game forces me to use some weapons. So for example, if I change here to the duelist, sorry for the hero shot because he is here, the game's gonna force me to use the duelist, and unless I beat the stage with the duelist, I'm gonna be able to repeat it with any other weapon. So here's a kind of tricky escape, so let's see if I can get it, and specifically it's with this enemy. What I'm gonna here, I'm gonna take a bit here, I'm gonna try to hide, and I'm gonna be shooting to him, and there we go! This is a very good luck, because the real pattern is that he is gonna go to that section, and then he's gonna be so easy to defeat, and just to get the key to use the next warp platform. So now to this guy, okay, this is a tricky one. I tried to chase him on that section, but I wasn't able to. This has the other key for the next warping platform. I'm really happy that I got the I got the little amount of save time at the start of this fight. And now with these two enemies, I just need to focus on the one that doesn't have has the balloon, because it's the only one that has the key. So moving to the next platform, I switch again to the curling bombs to keep getting a little bit of time in some sections. It's more easy just to ignore some enemies like this one. And I'm gonna switch again to the regular bombs because I need to throw a bomb here. What I'm gonna do is to move that enemy that's over there. And if I throw a bomb again in a specific spot, he's gonna move again and he's gonna fall into my trap. So I'm gonna throw the bomb here, and there we go. He fell into the trap. Otherwise, he should have went to the bottom of the stage, and we need to beat him there just to get the ski. This is mostly the mostly easier skip that you can make on this stage. And we have another kind of escape here. Let's see if I can get it. I'm gonna try to manipulate the position of this enemy. Okay, never mind. He went so far. So this is gonna be kinda impossible. Let's see if I can move him back. Okay, he kept on that position. That was good anyways. It's supposed I should have kept him on that section, but at the same time this keeps being good. I'm gonna lose some time because I decided to walk instead of keep painting on the section where I was moving, because if I started to paint, he was not gonna notice me or easier, and that enemy should have moved to another section. Another enemy, another curling bomb. And in this last section, we're gonna have a bunch of enemies, but just one of them has a key. So I'm gonna follow this pattern, and it's gonna make sure that I get the key most of the time. Okay, get the key. And now it's time to move to the last section. I switch to the regular bombs because I need to use it. Well, I can use the gold instead. And this wasn't bad at all. Besides just that little fact that with the last skip, everything was fine. So I'm really happy with it. And now we're gonna see our new weapon that again I have forgot the name in English because I used to play this in Spanish most of the time, but you will understand what this is. I don't think that I need to explain it. Okay, I'm failing this. Excuse me, why am I failing this? Okay, I'm not having the best luck in this marathon. Okay, there we go. Throw a bomb here, I start to shoot with this, and stage 13. The heavy splatting, it's called in English this weapon, heavy splatting. So I need to charge this for a bit before I am able to shoot the ink. So if I time correctly and the shooting, I shouldn't have problems trying to move all the stage. I switch back again to the curling bounces. And if I keep shooting to this thing, some platforms are gonna start to move. So basically, this is what you need to do on this stage using this weapon. Excuse me. Thank you. It's gonna be the last time I'm gonna shoot to this. And again, using the curling bomb, I'm gonna be moving this section, hoping that I can get a good cycle here, and there we go, I got it. Because for some reason, if I do that, with that big enemy that's gonna be throwing in cycle changes, and I need to move to another side in order to reach that thing that will warps me to this section. So, okay, one of the enemies saw me here, I guess. Just throwing my ink, I throw curling bomb, okay. This is not good. Okay, I have my shield's back, so that's good. And also sometimes the cycle without enemies is kinda tricky for me. Like in this case, but I was able to manage, well, to deal with it, so that's good. And just for general knowledge, for general effects for this run, my PB is 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 21 seconds, just in case that somebody was interested about knowing just my actual time on this run, all for this game. And this is gonna be a little skip that is gonna save like 30 seconds. So I charge my heavy splatting here, and I shoot to start a thing to be warp up to this. I need to wait until this guy moves. Start to throw into this end. On the section with that key, I'm not so really happy with what has happened, but it's something. Now, using the heavy splatting, I'm gonna unlock the next stage, which is stage 15. Another stage against Octoling. So I'm gonna be checking this, and I'm gonna start to shoot here. And I'm gonna use the menu to warp over this section, but before I enter, this is gonna be the only time that I'm gonna be switching weapons. I'm gonna be back into the duelist because, you know, for this Octoling stages, as I said before, on the Octoling stages you can use any weapon that you want. Obviously, talking about the weapons that you have. So this is just more faster to be using the duelist. I prefer to wait here to break the shield and also defeat that Octoling. Otherwise, the Octoling should have maybe some damage, and with it, they should have lost more time. Our Octoling is gonna annoy me. And okay, I forgot to switch bombs. Okay. Here. No, okay, that was something really bad. And again, it's been a long time that this happened, but it's okay. I just need to get these other mini sap fishes and I'm gonna be done. Okay, I'm gonna break the shield again. So I was aware of that. And I don't paint at all there because some boxes are gonna spawn, and there we go. Yes, we need to take 1.8 liters of water. Just remember guys, stay hydrated. Drink water. Stage number 12 is heading over here. And also the reason why I used to throw these bombs on the stages is because this helps a lot to cover them more easier, and with it we can unlock them. We're gonna use again the hero shot. And I have switched to the curling bomb because I'm gonna be a little trick here. Because on these things we're gonna be bouncing, but if I start to swim on the ink and then I jump here, I'm gonna keep the speed of the swimming, so this is gonna be more faster. And then you just throw your bomb. So the important thing here is up, because we have a key here. It's gonna be a tricky jump, otherwise I should have died. I'm glad that I haven't died over here. Okay, that was an error jump. Also, every time that I press J, the camera is gonna center, so this is gonna be helpful sometimes. Okay. So here, when I land, I'm just gonna press keep pressing the B button, jump, and with a perfect movement, I just can skip all of this and land directly into the warping pad. And again, just keep jumping, jumping, and jumping. And jumping, and jumping, and jumping. I forgot to paint this wall. I saw the bomb, and we are done, and we need to move to the next stage, which is gonna be the stage number 10 and the first stage of this zone. Well, not the first stage. What is the first one? Yes, it's the first one. Here I'm gonna use again the menu to move to that stage. So what I'm gonna do is here is just gonna throw the curling bomb, switch to the regular ones, and then I'm gonna be throwing the bomb here. That was the first bomb, second bomb, and then I just use the menu to move to this stage. And we're gonna have here the bucket, another new weapon on the game. I don't remember exactly if this was included on the first Splatoon game. I don't remember exactly. But this is being a kind of interesting weapon on the game, I should say. So you can get your own conclusions. A good thing about this bucket is that it can throw a good amount of ink, and it can be helpful in most parts of the stage, mostly with the sponges, because the bucket with just two shoots make that most of the sponges get at its full form, and with it we can climb using them or just hide onto them. With this I make also little skips. Not supposed that I should have done this on this way. Okay, I have a no, I don't have a shield yet. Shield's gonna be key. And yes, big sponges. Again, bomb's gonna help. I'm gonna take that shield for safeness purposes. This guy hasn't seen me, that's good. And we start now with we're gonna start with 3 sections of this stage. Mostly with these enemies. If everything was fine, they're not gonna. This guy is not gonna notice me. There we go. That was cute. So I just need to climb up. And the next section is the trickiest one, and this has made me lose a huge amount of time on my PvE for the first time of my life running this game, because these enemies are gonna be here at the back. Okay, any of them saw me, that's really good, otherwise they make a big amount of disgusting sports just shooting their ink. So I'm really glad that hasn't happened, because on my PV that happened and that took a huge amount of my save time. I'm really glad that it went well. So again, sniping time, and the last stage that we need to beat on this world before we move to the fourth. Bucket. We can pitch that. Again, I switch bombs. And I failed. I really love when I do that, not gonna lie. That's the reason why I prefer to walk when there's that kind of sections when I can throw the bomb and the bomb just can go away to anywhere. And this is another tricky stage. Usually these sniping stages are kinda tricky if we just use the sticks. But at the same time, like I said before, I have found a way for myself to beat this faster. Here's something interesting, because we need to activate this cycle with this thing that has the enemy ink, because we need to get close to this, otherwise that cycle is not gonna get activated. So with it I have a good amount of time to catch the shield. If I aim correctly, I can defeat that Octoling with just one shooting. That's really amazing, really good. Crazy escapes. Well, not so crazy, but there are escapes. Let's fight this guy, switch bombs. This guy has a scene. Shoot to this octo shooter that has this key. I lost my shield, but it's fine. That sometimes happens in that section. Okay, there's an enemy up there that sometimes throws some ink to my ink, so I'm glad that hasn't happened. And I feed this guy, and another Octons are gonna appear. 1, 2, there we go. That was a faster kill. Usually that's the better cycle that you can get in order to defeat the Octolings. Otherwise you're gonna waste a really good amount of time. And also I have lost here a huge amount of time on this stage, thanks to some dumb movements, and also that Octolings hasn't cooperated. Seconds. That's good. Now Mighty Octostomp and another tricky section. Okay, I have failed this. I hope that I don't fail this one, so I'm gonna keep quiet. There we go, first attempt. That's tricky with the sticks. And this is a boss that has appeared on the first Splatoon game, but we're gonna see a little twist on a bit. And here we're gonna use the Duelist. That I consider that was a really good selection of a weapon for this stage. We're gonna see the reason of that on a bit. So the mighty Octostomp is gonna come against us first on this first phase. He's gonna fall down, we ink one of his walls and we shoot to the tentacle. Usually this first cycle it's not a big deal, which I'm really glad. So it's supposed that the real challenge is us here because now he's gonna have this kind of shield that's gonna avoid that we can shoot him and cover him on ink. Okay, never mind. And again, we can roll back, because that's a good thing about the Duelist. And now he's gonna jump over here, but I'm gonna try to keep him as close as I can. I don't want to make that he moves so much far away, because with that I can kill another little amount of time if he moves closer. If I keep closer to a section where the enemy is, so he just move a little distance. So now he's gonna move back again. Get ready here. Since I'm hiding on the ink, he's not gonna see me, so I need to go out. Charge this again. The shield has been destroyed. He's gonna try to attack us. I'm gonna keep here, I don't wanna move so far away. Yes, he's down. And there we go. Another easy boss. It's time to throw the bomb again. And third boss. Now, on this section of the history, Mary tells to us that the first time she tried to, first she asked to us for our help, just to rescue the big sapfish. But then now she tells to us that the real reason why she asks to us for our help is because she wanted to know where does her cousin Callie, the other squid sister, is. And at the same time, it's funny because it's after she says that, then also she says, wait, do you really know that? Because it's supposed that you are gonna wonder what's happening on this game if you have played the first one and you know the history of the game. And also you have some kind of knowledge with the Splatfests of the game that I'm gonna explain once I enter the stage. We're gonna have again some bucket action, but first here I'm gonna jump. And with the dogs. I say that thing about Splatfest because there are some kind of festivals in Splatoon that there are two teams, you need to vote for one, and there are gonna be some battles during a weekend. And at the end, the team that got more wins and more votes is the one that's gonna win. And for general knowledge also, the last Splatfest of the first game was Callie versus Mario. And just to say that battle about Squid Sisters. And on that Splatfest, Team Mario won. And I need to say that I voted for Team Mari because I'm Team Mari instead of Team Callie. Mari is my favorite Squid Sister, so I'm really glad that she is with us on the history of this game. So I want to assume that the reason why I don't see Callie here was thanks to that. But up to this point, we don't know where she is. But again, if we have played the first game and we know all of this, we're gonna be able to make to us a kind of idea about where the she can be. We're not gonna know that until we defeat the fourth boss, and that doesn't count as a spoiler because I'm not saying where the she is or what happened with her. We're gonna know that later, but I'm gonna explain that also for the people who doesn't know the history of the game and at the same time is watching this run, because with that means that they don't care so much about what happened on the history. But instead of that, Splatoon 1 history, it's more something like, man, just like Nintendo felt forced to make a history mode, because comparing the history mode from the second game to the first title, there's a big difference. There's a big improvement in many aspects. But at the same time, it's not a so long history mode. But for newcomers, it's gonna take a little amount of time to beat. Mostly if you're like me, that you wanna go into a low percent and don't level up your weapons. And I'm gonna be honest, I beat this game without leveling up the weapons, and I hope that I remember this when I reach the last boss fight, because I need to make an explanation about that. Because, I don't know, in video games I don't like to level up anything, and I'm fine with that. I feel that increases the challenge of beating the game. Stage 16, getting back to the hero shot. And I hope that somebody, or well, some people that's watching this loves bowling. We're gonna see some bowling action. I don't know when I have thrown the bomb there, but I throw it. Okay, I received damage, but it's still weak. There was a shield there that I haven't catched it. It's still weak, so it's a backup. And also, for some reason, the other enemies don't get damaged with these big bowling balls, but we can receive damage. I don't know why that happened, but that happened for some reason. Let's throw the bomb. So I wanna consider that my throat is kinda tired, so I think I'm gonna keep quiet here because honestly I don't have anything to explain. So we're reaching to the end of the stage. We're gonna keep using the current bombs to move. Well, maybe the only last interesting here is this. It's supposed that we need to break out boxes and keep them in that safe zone, but that big bowling balls can be skipped so easily. So this is the real last section of the stage, so I will appreciate this will be the end, because that will make this run more short. Okay, that was really dumb. I sometimes ask to myself what I used to do these kind of things. So next stage, and as always I forgot where the thing is. Did somebody come for another sniping stage? Tricky sections again. I wanted to have the shield, but I don't have time to keep going. Also, this section changes when you play with another weapon, because just with this you can reach these enemies. If you use another weapon, Mari's gonna tell to us that we should try to use bombs to reach that enemies. And honestly, my least favorite part of this game, well, of this stage, because this last section it's technical and autoscroller. Wanna grab this shield for seconds. And then we have the octo shooters. More octo shooters. And I hope that I don't choke this, because some days ago I was doing a run here and I died dumbly on this last section. I wanna use this just to clean a bit over here. And there we go. I'm glad that I haven't died. So now 21, another Octoling stage, and surprisingly enough, I'm gonna switch to the dualies here. I'm gonna keep using this the sniping weapon, because for some reason it's more easiest to beat this stage using this weapon instead of the dualies. Mostly because there's a lot of enemies that you will like to shoot to them as a far distance. Hey, that wasn't my intention. Things happen. I just can have a total of 2 shields. Suppose that I was gonna have here my second shield, but I received damage from one of the auto shooters. This is what does this stage is better with this weapon by far. Please don't quit me. Okay, shit. But I grab another one here. That's another good point. There's some extra shields here, but also you need to be careful in order to don't lose them. Never mind. I'm just gonna try to move quickly. I'm gonna charge a little more, I think, here. What this last one is? Which one I missed? Did I miss one? Yes, I missed one. Oh, I saw it. I feel dumb, honestly. How I have missed that? I don't know how I have missed that. Or well, I don't know how I escaped. Okay, I think that now I know why I have missed that. I think that I just have lost like 10 seconds. No, between 15 to 20 seconds, mostly. So now, kids, here's another question. What happens when you take an umbrella and a gun? You have like 3 seconds to guess the answer. Didn't you know what was that? Okay, don't worry, because the game is gonna tell to us what happened with that fusion. Surprisingly no, I can use it also as a shield. And if I keep it like that, this happens, so yes. So on this stage, we're gonna go into the first section. It's gonna be invisible platforms. It's not a big deal to know where those they are, but usually the first time that you play this, you will play it as slow as you can for obvious reasons. Throw a bomb, back. Got this key, and now it's time to go through the second key that I'm gonna be needing. So now I'm gonna be moving I'm gonna go front, but since I don't have a shield, I need to grab this one because there's a big possibility that I lose it here due to that enemies. So it's better to have a shield there. Otherwise, if I receive damage, obviously I'm gonna be moving slowly. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until this guy goes back. I think this is the second time that this has happened to me. Oh, well, this is a good part of the show because it's supposed that we're doing this live and there's no kind of additions or things like that. So that's better. Throw a bomb here, this is gonna go down, so I'm gonna be able to catch the key, and I can continue to the section where I'm gonna use both keys. Here on the left. And there was a noctoling, but I'm just gonna ignore that. 1, 2. No, it's not supposed that I was gonna do that. And here I need to wait until a special cycle. Okay, failed. Go. Shooters. That one sometimes annoying. I think I need to wait for safeness purposes. Okay. Again, I'm gonna wait here because otherwise my jump is not gonna be so powerful. And it's so probable that I fall down here trying to do this escape. Catch the key, I switch to regular bombs, I open this, I throw a bomb, shoot to this, and... What is happening here? Again, long time since I haven't got this. There we go. And now the weapon by default is gonna tell to you that you don't know how to play the game. The blasters. And the reason of this is because these weapons has a ridiculous higher range, so it's so easy to kill and destroy enemies using this weapon. It's gonna be tricky thanks to some enemies, but usually on multiplayer mode it's so easy to kill people using this. So if you wanna show to the people that you don't know how to play this game, you definitely should use this weapon, because this is the favorite weapon of the people that doesn't know how to play the game. The first one. The second one is just the roller, but at least with the roller you need to have some kind of good skills with it. It's slow to shoot, but as I've said before, this guy's a big range of damaging and a big range to cover all the sections that this has. You have ink with this. I'm gonna go up here, so it's gonna be more easier for me to defeat these bad guys. Quickly here. Well, not for second try. Let's move carefully, and I have skipped that enemy. Good enough. And this is a complicated section sometimes, due to the amount of enemies. It's supposed that you should go and try to defeat each of them. I've defeated this guy that's really helpful. As I was saying, you need to defeat the enemies regularly, but you can skip them, but you need to be so fast, so quick in your movement like I have done. Okay, I was close to die there, because for some reason I moved the camera and I don't know what I have done that, but I shouldn't have done that. But I have done that at the same time, so I'm glad that nothing awful happened. So it's time to go for the third key. It's not required that I go through this order on these warping platforms, but I like to do this on this order. Usually this is the most longest one and the most complicated. This guy's gonna have a key. No, it's not gonna have a key. It's gonna make this platform is gonna move. So we're gonna have this switch to activate. Then this other platform is gonna fall down. I make a risky jump here. I don't know what happened. Make the risky jump here. It's not supposed to have done it here. I get confused with another section of the stage. So more or less time incoming because I forget. This was really bad, but it's fine. It's next to a checkpoint. Because something really awful about that enemy is that if you're not quick here in your movement, just to jump over here and skip a little amount of this part of the stage, and you're gonna receive some damage with one of their shootings, and at the same time you're gonna be slowed down thanks to that shooting. You're gonna fall down like what happened. One more shoot. This is the section I was gonna fall down instead of the previous one. And this is the last key. And I needed this key because there are 3 key blocks over here. And I'm gonna try to do a little skip here. Let's see if I can get it. No! I missed it. Okay, it's fine. I have never got it, so I'm not surprised. So jumps over here. And remember, this kind of enemies, well, you're gonna know which is the real knight of these guys. First I need to go for the key, but sometimes they can go through the different sections of the stage, so... Okay. Move over there, and okay, let's take a different way. It's kinda complicated to control these guys. And I used to waste a huge amount of time here thanks to these ones, but... This is the only thing that I don't like about this stage. Usually this is happen a lot. I used to waste a huge amount of time trying to do that. And now, Octo Shower, 4th boss of the game, and again we're gonna use the... Well, now we're gonna use the sniper gun. I'm gonna look for the name on English in a bit. Break this, here it comes. It's called... Splat Charge. And we're gonna see something curious here because, again, the purpose of the reset was just to skip the first cutscene, but for some reason something interesting happens here, and it's gonna be that we're gonna be able to skip the third cutscene. Okay, I missed it. Recently I have been missing that, but I'm gonna receive damage, I think. Okay, it was something. Which direction was? Oh, this one. So after I defeat that flying enemies, and big tentacles gonna spawn, and we know what to do. There we go. And now we're gonna be able to skip the third cutscene. And this is the only boss where this happens. Exactly, I don't know the reason, but it happens. But at least these last kills on these two last spaces were good. I'm happy. Again, curling bump. And now it's time to move to the last section of the game. And probably the most complicated, talking about the topic of finding the stages. And if we have paid attention here, the first dialogue of Interference was upside down. And this is clearly a reference to the history mode of the first game. Because in the first game, Kali was Agent 1 and Maris was Agent 2. Our player on Splatoon 1 is Agent 3 and here we are Agent 4. So there was a part of the history in the first game where Kali text box appeared upside down. And the reason of that is because she was holding her communicator, her walkie-talkie, upside down. And now with this interference, that happened again, and then Mary says that she's hold. Well, it tells to the person who is making interference that it's holding the communicator upside down, and then she said, "Oh, okay, my mistake," or something like that. And then Mari said, "Kali, does are you?" And obviously she said, "No, I'm not Mary. I'm not Kali." But obviously that's Mary. That's Mary. So up to that point, if you have played the first game and you notice that reference to the first game, you will understand. You will know that where does Kali is. But we're not gonna see her till we go more far away into the game. But now we can make an idea about where she is. And on this first stage, I use again the menu to move to the stage. Otherwise, I should have climb up and wait until a cycle where gonna be able to enter the stage. But doing that makes that I don't need to wait to the cycle and everything gets speed up. And again, more action with the duels. But again, not a big deal. This is just a section where I'm just gonna keep shooting and mounting these rails, so... Again, not so many things to say. The rest of this stage... Okay, I was able to reach that point, I'm glad. And there's a little skip where this little X tells to us that we can get them. That little X makes that little hand. I have moved to the other one. Okay, never mind. I think the only problem was that I moved the camera to another angle. Another tricky section. Yes, this game is so tricky. Speedrunning talking, and also maybe casually. Stage 22, and the last stage where we are gonna use a new weapon. But again, it's another hiding stage. What I was trying to say a while ago with the concept of making the topic of finding stages more hard, it's because, as we can see, the stages are really good hidden, and as a personal history, when I was trying to beat this game for the first time, okay, I missed it, and I saw where the stage was. Okay, it's fine. I tried for almost 2 months to find all the stages, and I was missing 2, so I wasn't able to reach the boss fight. So then I needed to use a guide to know where those other stages were hidden. I feel bad about that up to this day, but at least with that I was able to beat this title. But again, I just used the guide for that. I haven't used the guide for anything else. So most of this has been mostly like a personal effort. So we're gonna have here the brush, and something about this weapon that makes that our movement gets really faster. But the big issue that this weapon has is that your ink runs out so faster at the same time, because as much as you move, the most ink you're gonna be using. So I'm gonna try to keep quiet in some sections, trying to get some ink. Okay, I forgot that enemy, and I was waiting for that shield, but looks like that's not gonna happen. That cone also tells you us where does the floor is gonna finish, so after playing this for a couple of times you will remember that, and you don't need to keep moving slowly just to detect where everything is. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, never mind. Let's go! Let's go out! Let's go out. There we go. Since I'm running out of ink, I'm gonna wait on this spot. Mostly thanks to this kind of things, I don't like to use the gyroscope. As I've said before, that's just a personal preference. I need to learn how to play with the gyroscope if I wanna get some time. After I chase, this happens, I get my key, and then I can leave this. And another challenge is gonna come right now. So I'm gonna be using this special weapon. So try to defeat these enemies. Mostly this one, which is the most complicated. Okay, I got it. And another shield just for safeness. Some enemies are gonna be here, so I'm gonna be waiting, because my PB also choked at this. And since I have a shield, that was something really good here, because I'm gonna lose my speed trying to defeat each of them, sorry. Doesn't matter if I run out of ink here. And now the complicated section of the stage. We're gonna have these enemies that cleans our ink. At the same time, it's gonna be tricky to make them move. This was good. Now this is the real challenge. Right? Doesn't matter. Here we go. This was really good. And now I'm gonna switch weapons again. I'm gonna be using the heavy thing that I forgot the name again to unlock and stage, but until the stage we're gonna be forced to use a roll. I'm just gonna use it to unlock the stage, and you're gonna see the reason of that in a bit. But I'm gonna wait until I reach that spot in order to switch weapons, because it's more easy to keep using the brush here. I just jump here, I activate the switch. platform is gonna start to move. I climb up here. So now I'm gonna use this. It's okay, it's okay. I haven't unlocked the stage, so I just can. No, I haven't unlocked it. But I at least have reached the platform. That was also really bad. Bad. Which shall be the point of the speedrunning if we don't get this kind of things. Now the only bubble part was gonna be this one. Anyways, I reached the stage, which was an important thing. And again, we're gonna have these roll balls trying to annoy. Why am I having this kind of awful luck? I mean, it's not a big problem if I die close to checkpoint, but I was kinda away from this. And the worst part is that after this warping platform there was a checkpoint, so you can make an idea about how many times they have lost. And since I have died, I have lost something really important that was gonna help to me to save a little amount of time. But it's okay. And again, I really, honestly, from this last section of the game, I really hate this stage thanks to this kind of things. Okay. Mostly because again, here lies the checkpoint. That was really helpful, but this is part of the show. My PB is 2 hours and 15 minutes, so definitely I know that I'm gonna be able to finish under my estimate, and I really hope it's. I'm gonna go back on this and I'm gonna wait for another green platform in order to move and go through the stage 25 where we're gonna use the heavy splatter again, but that wasn't the correct cycle. This is the correct one. Just gonna here, I'm gonna jump, and I haven't reached it. Okay, my mistake. Let's see if I can reach that. No, I'm gonna reach it. There we go. Again, risky strats. I thought that I haven't aimed correctly for the second bump, so I'm really surprised about that. I forgot to switch windows again. For some reason I was thinking I was having the roll. Smooth! Run, Squid! Run! Thank you. There was a higher chance that I should have died there. And this is special. Also I need to don't die. No! No! Okay. Okay, these enemies are really annoying. Really annoying. They're not gonna solve. Like that. And remember to drink water, boys. Again, I need to defeat these enemies and work on the platforms when they spawn. Why I have done that? Okay, whatever. But I don't know what am I doing some things, but I'm doing them. It's supposed that I should have done this. That hasn't happened. And since I lost the special weapon, I'm not gonna be able to do a little ski. That looks gonna throw it one of these things just to keep the platform moving. Anyway, my PB is not good because comparing it with my previous one, I just killed like 1 minute, so. Now, this is gonna be the last time that I'm gonna be using a weapon to unlock. Well, I'm gonna be unlocking 2 stages, but I'm gonna just go through 1. Because again, I'm gonna be back into the first world. So here I'm using the 2 wagon to big platform. Comes here, it count. I'm gonna unlock the stages 24 and 27. Okay, I was close to fail that. And also I was close to fail that. Stage 24. Stage 27. So now in stage 24 I'm gonna be using the bucket, and the other stage is an octoling one, so in both stages I'm gonna be using the bucket. And also the cycles of these platforms are gonna get activated until I get so close to them. So that's the reason about why some of them are gonna keep quiet. Okay, that's the first ever time that happened. The first time in all my life. I don't know why the game likes to annoy me like that, but it does it. That's the reason why I jump here. I have jump, but I don't know why the game pushed me away. But for some reason, the game was down there. Okay, I am close to get really mad with this game up to this point, because I really hate when this kind of thing happens, because well, we know it's a big amount of mistakes, or I mean amount of awful moments that the game decides to make just to annoy the players, but yeah, this is a part of the speedrunning, and without this, what should be the point of trying to be faster if there's not enough challenge? So here, suppose that I should destroy this big box, but just throwing a bomb in a specific spot, we can avoid that. There are just some switches around this. And also, there's a switch over here, but with a bomb. I just can activate it and I fall down again, but that's good, I haven't fallen down to another section, so I'm happy about that. There's another switch here, and I just need to activate the one. This other side. No, which one I haven't activated? Okay, no, which one? A key is gonna spawn, but I just jump here while this is going down, so I can catch the key using the box as a platform. I throw a bomb here. I put in this position and I throw another bomb. And there we go. And now, this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna be moving to the last section of this. The last time I'm gonna be moving to the first world. And here, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna level up the hero shot. And the reason of what I'm gonna do that is because of the last boss, you're gonna be forced to use it. And if you don't level up at level 2, it's gonna take to you more than 20 minutes to beat it. I don't know what I've done that if I should have pressed just the up button instead of the down button a lot of times, but anyways. Stage 27, last regular stage, and then we're gonna enjoy a 10 minutes boss fight. Because yes, it takes 10 minutes. It's fine. Oh, just shield. I'm gonna go. No, I'm not gonna grab it. Just gonna grab it. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. Sorry about that. Notification of Windows. Here, I'm gonna throw a bomb. And I thought that I have defeated that Inkling. This is an Octoling girl. This is started to be an open run. It turned into something good in some way, and then this happened. Okay, I'm gonna try to play this as safely as I can. So I think I'm just gonna go for the shields first, and if I receive damage I'm gonna try to get that way of the skulls. This has never happened before. Because the game is designed to be like this with me today for no reason. At the same time I was so generous with my estimates. Thanks to these kind of things. And finally, there we go. This was really bad. Now it's time to move against DJ Octavio. It's the last boss fight. And what am I gonna do here is that I'm gonna make a damage boosting here. I'm gonna make a dead abuse. So what I was gonna do here is just to die or fall into any other part in another section, because with this I can spawn at the center of the world, and with this I can reach more faster this boss fight. And as I've said before, get ready for this 10 minutes boss fight. So the fact that it's kinda long, it's not so bad, so I hope that you can enjoy these guys. Here I'm not gonna reset the game as with the other boss fights, because resetting is useless. And ladies and gentlemen, if somebody was asking about where does Callie is, there you have it here. But she's brainwashed, thanks to that glasses. And that I... Okay, I hope that with that this doesn't annoy. I wanna fix that later. Just wait a moment, I need to fix this really quickly. Okay, now I shouldn't have this problem. Let's go back to the action. So here I just need to be shooting to the fists of the machine, and unfortunately I lost a cycle there, because if I receive damage, if I am hit, I'm gonna lose a cycle. But anyways, I'm gonna be able to finish this under my estimate. If everything goes fine, this is gonna be at 210, and my estimate is 215, so it's good. But at the same time, I have received one hit, and I don't know what I have to throw the bomb at the start, because it's not supposed that I should have done that. I have lost some ink, so I wasn't able to have enough ink to shoot to the other fists. Anyways, I need to hit Octavio 8 times. Everything is gonna be fine. But if he shoots twice his fist, I will go for his left one. Because if I go for the one on the right side, the cycles are gonna be different, and the spinning fists are gonna come, and you need to avoid them. You cannot shoot them. You only can shoot to these ones that are slow and turns these letters into a pink color. It's down. So now second pace. This boss has 4 paces instead of 3, like the little ones. So what happened here is that now Octavius is gonna be a little up. It's gonna be more at the top of the screen of the stage. And with this fist, I'm gonna try to keep as close as I can to him. So he's gonna shoot so close. He's gonna he's gonna throw his fist so close, and with that I can get some time, because it's gonna take a little amount of extra time if I'm so far away of him and he tries to chase me with his fists. And now Mari appears in her regular idol outfit. And now she was able to make that Kali get rid of the hypnotic glasses, but at the same time it's gonna take a little amount of time to Kali to get back into her normal form, so we need to make some time on this third phase. Okay. More lost time coming, and I'm gonna die. But Octavia is not so bad, he's gonna try to get closer to me, so I don't need to throw a bomb at all. And the way that Mary is attacking is just insane. Where this guy is? Okay, I missed a fist because I haven't seen where this guy moved. Excuse me. Okay, I got confused. I thought that I defeated, and I was close to die again. Again, amazing cycles. And there we go, now it's time to watch the very last phase of this boss fight. And another reference to the first game. I'm gonna keep quiet for a bit and enjoy this. I'm gonna turn my volume a bit, because I really like this song. A funny thing of this is that if I was into a full rage mode, if I was so really mad with the game, like in this situation, thanks to that bad moment, it's that I get happy hearing the song. I don't know why, I don't really like it. So this is the reason why I cannot hate to run this. So on this last page we're gonna have this Rainmaker. Well, this is a modified version of it. And we need to, again, just to aim to the faces that are coming to us, except for the spinning ones for obvious reasons. While we hear this new version of this Squid Sister song, just Calamari Incarnation, you know, it's called Spicy Calamari Incarnation. This song was featured in the first game, but this is a new version, a new remix of it. And Good story that I can say about this is that when I was playing this casually for the first time and I reached this part, I was so hyped that I started to scream like a fangirl, and my family was scared about what happened to me. They thought that something really bad has happened to me, and my mom ran to my room. And then she asked, "What happened, son?" And I just kept saying, "The Squid Sisters are back! The Squid Sisters are back!" Obviously, she went mad with me because she thought that something really bad has happened to me, but that wasn't the case. But I was really hyped because from the first game I really loved Squid Sisters, and having them again on this last boss fight was a really good experience. And now the time's gonna finish when I put the Rainmaker over Octavio, so be ready for the time. And time! And now that we have defeated Octavio, it's supposed that now we're gonna get back the Great Sapfish, and also at the same time we know where the Scally was, and now she's gonna be fine in some way, I think. 209:31. Okay, I don't know if the timer started late or something like that, but I was timing this with my splits, and my split says that this was at 209:40. Anyways, that was good, and I think that with this, even with these mistakes, I think that for future marathons, I can submit this game with an estimate of 2 hours and 10 minutes. Maybe that'd be kinda risky, but recently that has been like my kind of average. I used to finish in under 2 hours and 10 minutes, but besides of the mistakes, the rage, the full rage moment, I consider that this was a good run. I got some good golden splits. I have also got a huge amount of time in some of them. Well, I haven't got many golden splits, but I have got a huge amount of time on them. And now here at the news, we know that the Great Sapfish has returned, and also Kali has appeared, so now the Squid Sisters are gonna show their new song, which is this one, and but unfortunately I don't remember the name, but this is the new Squid Sisters song that now they made after Callie went back after being controlled by the Octolings. Well, you can know what happened in some way with this, or why does Callie went with the Octolings when you get the scrolls of the game, because as I've seen before, the scrolls, there are some papers you get in in the stages, tells to all the history of between the first and second game. I mean, what happened between both games. And the scrolls of the first game tells to you the origin of the Inglings and the Octolings, and why does the battle has started, and why does the Octolings are the bad guys. But well, I think that with this I am done. So let's. But the all the funnest thing of the marathon, all the good things with the marathon are gonna finish yet. We're gonna keep having more runs later. But let me see, because I think that the next runner, it's not here. Because if the next runner is not here, we're gonna finish with the first day of the marathon. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna wait until the staff confirms this. Okay, unfortunately the last runner hasn't appeared. So with this, we're gonna officially kill this first day of this marathon, that it's Distant StarCare's Play Life 2019. I hope that you can apologize me for all my mistakes with the English, but as I've said before, English is not my principal language, but I'm trying to do my best effort in order to try to speak it as much fluid as I can. So that's the reason why I just forget sometimes some words and that kind of stuff. But well, the invite is open to everybody to check the marathon tomorrow, because we're gonna keep continuing, and we're gonna start the second day of the marathon with Luigi's Mansion. So I hope you guys are here in the marathon. And also thanks to everybody who has watched this Splatoon 2 Hero mode any percent run. I hope that you really enjoy it. It's supposed I just was running Snow Brothers, but for some schedule changes I was asked to run this game. But also I'm gonna be back with another extra game that I was asked at the last minute, which is Donald Duck Quackers, which has a donation incentive. So if you're planning to donate, consider to donate to the donation incentives that we have for the marathon. So I'm gonna be back on Sunday, but I'm gonna be lurking on the chat on Saturday. But anyways, the fun doesn't stop here. We're gonna take our night break, and maybe in 9 or less hours we're gonna be back. Well, in less than 9 hours we're gonna be back with more action here at this Starkers Play Live 2018. I was GhostSenpai, and well, I hope that you enjoyed the marathon, the first day of the marathon, and see you in the next day. And remember to put some sugar on your pillow to have sweet dreams. See you guys.